So, does Anti-Clog work? We're going to find out in this video. This video is a little bit different because I've spent about 6 to 8 weeks wearing the Anti-Clogs, and Matt and Blake have done a little review video for you as well. So we're going to watch Matt and Blake get into it, and then I'll jump in and give you a few facts about the Anti-Clog as we go along. Nike have brought out the Anti-Clog now on their Spark Brilliance pack as well. These are the launch colorway of the Magistas, but the Magistas are available with the Anti-Clog sole as they were before. The Hypervenoms have got the Anti-Clog sole available, as do the Tiempos. The Tiempo is the cheapest way you can get into doing Anti-Clog. They're a lot cheaper than £305 for the Magistas, and I think it's about £275, £280 for the Hypervenoms. The Tiempo is much cheaper at £225, and it's not possible to get the Mercurial range with the Anti-Clog, and that's because of that the nylon chassis that they developed specifically for the Superfly 5 and the Vapor 11, so they can't do the Anti-Clog with that, so it's not available. These boots are. We've been looking at Anti-Clog. Does it work? Find out now.
Hi, Blake and Matt from Football Biz at Koruka, and today we're testing whether Nike Football's Anti-Clog traction technology actually works. So we've actually been patient and waited for the rain to come, and the pitches are pretty much completely muddy, and that's pretty much perfect for this Anti-Clog test. So Matt is going to test it for us. On his left foot, he's going to be wearing the Magista Obra Anti-Clog pair, and on the right foot, he's going to be wearing the Hyper Phantom Lightning Storm soft ground pair, so we can completely compare whether Anti-Clog actually works. So in short, Nike's Anti-Clog traction technology prevents mud from clogging the sole plates of Nike's football boots, and the sole plates include an adaptive polymer that becomes compliant when exposed to water. The more water there is on the surface, the better it works.
So it does say it on the lid. It is absolutely true. One of the things I really noticed with the Anti-Clog when you're using them before the start of a game, and even at halftime sometimes, if you got that mud and it's a little bit drier, even if it's like a little bit kind of sandy mud, it can get a little bit sticky. So what you do is you just get a water bottle before the start of the game, and you just kind of get it going already. It's that water that helps the sole plate work properly. And so if you put a bit of water on the sole before you kick off, then the mud isn't going to stick to it as much during the game. And then at halftime, if you need to, just give it a little top up. It hardly needs any, so you just do out your regular water bottle and you're good. And this makes a massive difference on how well the Anti-Clog technology works. So no wonder that Nike have done a massive sign on the lid saying works best when wet, because it is true. It really does work a lot better when it is wet. One thing you're not going to get is any difference with the upper. If you get caked on mud on the top, then it's going to be caked on mud on the top, but it will be sliding off the sole plate. So the sole plate does do it.
Hi guys, so I've been testing the Magista Anti-Clogs for about half an hour now, and as we can see, the upper is actually caked in mud on top, but turn the boots over and we can see that the mud isn't actually sticking to the sole plate that much. It's because the ground is still, it's quite damp still, so what the mud does, when it does react with the water and the sole plate, it runs off it. So if you are playing on a pitch which is just muddy, it's not that wet, the mud still might stick to the sole plate, but then when you do apply some water to it, it does run off. So at the moment, they're doing a great job. So one more comparison between the Anti-Clog and then the standard Hypervenom, we can just see that there's a lot less mud on the Anti-Clog boots.
So I've been wearing the Anti-Clog for matches and for trainings, and it's been noticeable to me that at the end of training, some people come up and they've got loads of mud caked on the sole of their boots, and it hasn't really been the case for me. There's been a little bit here and there, but not anything really noticeable, and I found it was really good in those wet conditions. If you think about training, you start getting worried about little groin niggles and little injuries like that when you're training and you're sliding around and stuff like that. It does make a difference. If you're the sort of player who likes to wear true socks, because you can tell the difference between wearing true socks and not wearing true socks, then you're going to feel the difference between having Anti-Clog and not having Anti-Clog on these wet pitches. I definitely think it is a good innovation for winter play. So if you play on a lot of muddy pitches, then it's definitely going to be good for you. If you hardly ever play on muddy pitches, don't worry about it. But it's definitely a nice touch. It's a shame that it doesn't work on all the sole plates. Like we've lost the split toe on the Magista range and on the Hypervenoms because they had to use this special polymer for the Anti-Clog, and it's not even possible on the Mercurials. But it is a great innovation, and I definitely would keep using it in winter football.
So guys, our final thoughts on the Anti-Clog Magistas, and overall what you'll find is that mud still does get stuck to the boot slightly, just like any other boot would. But the best thing about the Anti-Clog is when it does react with the water, the clumpy mud will actually come off a lot better than what a normal boot would. Okay, so you will still get a little bit of mud there, but overall you will start to see that mud come off due to the wet conditions.
So the question is, should you get Anti-Clog? Is Anti-Clog going to carry on? I kind of think that maybe it's only going to be kind of a winter release. You're not going to find it coming out all the time from Nike. They just maybe drop it in the winter packs. It's a limited edition. What you will notice is that you still can buy these. They re-release these, and this means they didn't sell out of them. Just the same with those Neymar Jordan boots. They didn't sell out of those, so they re-released them, and they've re-released these Anti-Clogs. Limited sizes, which is a shame. You can't get any bigger than UK 10. I think it's like UK 7 through UK 10. Some sizes have already sold out of the more popular stuff. With the Spark Brilliance. So overall, I think that it is a lot of money that you're paying extra, but if you already decided you wanted a Spark Brilliance colorway, or if you already like these black colorways, then it probably is worth that little bit extra, because these boots are going to last you through your whole season, and you're already spending a lot of money, but you're only spending a bit more just to get something that's going to really make quite a big difference to your game. They are very limited, so if you can find them in your size, go ahead and get them now, because you might not find them again. Who's to say whether Nike will bring it out again? It's not going to be a mass release product, at least for another couple of years. Maybe they'll bring it and develop it, and it'll be in the sole plates eventually for everybody on the SG Pros. But right now, if you want it, you're going to have to pay for it, and it's worth it if you can find the boot that you want. If you're a Mercurial wearer or something like that, then I wouldn't say switch to one of these boots because of the Anti-Clog. It doesn't make that much difference. But if you do want to wear a Magista or a Hypervenom or the Tiempos, then definitely go ahead and consider getting yourself the Anti-Clog if the pitches you play on are going to mean you need it. Alright guys, I'm going to go throw these on, go enjoy your football.